There are two general types of loops, pretest and posttest loops. In pretest loops, the control statement is evaluated prior to the statements in the loop body. In a posttest loop, the statement and the body are evaluated first, followed by the loop condition. When looking at the operational semantics of counting loops, both the while and for loops, you'll quickly see that they're very similar. Initialize a loop variable, test against terminal value, evaluate statements in a loop body, and increment loop variable. Each expression in C's for loop have multiple statements separated by commas. C allows for the use of the break statement, which terminates the loop, as well as the continue statement, which skips the remaining statements in the loop body and takes the execution back to the start of the loop. If loops are still hard to visualize, just take a look at the operational semantics of each one. Let's start off with the for loop. Looking at the operational semantics of a for loop, you can quickly see that expression 1 is evaluated first. This is the initialization step. The loop label comes after the initialization of the loop variable normally. After the label, the condition is evaluated. If the condition is false, the unconditional branch goto transfers the control to the out label location in the program. If the condition is true, the statements contained in the loop body are executed. After the execution of the loop body, expression 3 is evaluated. In the for loop, expression 3 normally serves as the step size. After the execution of the third statement, the goto statement transfers the control to the loop label location in the program, which, if you remember, comes after the execution of the first expression. In C's for loop, each of the expressions are optional. The semicolons are not optional. Missing a second expression is the same as having an expression that's always true. This can potentially cause an infinite loop unless you have an explicit branch in your loop body. The first and third expressions can be a series of expressions separated by a comma. The second expression can be a multi-conditional expression. The loop body in C's for loop is also optional. If no statements are provided, a semicolon must be included after the closing parentheses. Since numerous expressions can be evaluated in the for loop's control statement, it's common to see for loops without a loop body. Counter control loops were created for convenience, and since so many logically controlled loops had some sort of counting variable. Every counting loop can be built with a logical loop. The reverse isn't true. The two most common logically controlled loops are the while and do while loops. The difference between the two is that the while loop is a pretest loop, but the do while loop is a posttest loop. Like before, let's examine the operational semantics of both. The general form of the while logical loop is, you can see the image right here. The operational semantics for the while loop looks like the following. In the pretest loop above, the condition is evaluated first. If false, the goto statements transfer the control to the out label, terminating the repetition. If the condition evaluates to true, the statements in the loop body are executed and the unconditional branch redirects the execution of the program to the loop label. Now let's examine the general form and operational semantics of a do-while post-test logical loop. So examining the operational semantics of the do-while loop, we notice that the statements contained within the loop body are executed at least once and are performed before the condition is evaluated. If the control expression is evaluated to true, the goto branches to the loop label.